Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Same Old Arsenal podcast, episode 220, I think. This episode aptly named Martin Odegaard's 50p foot. Because for me, the moment of the Odegaard 50p foot would have changed the game. And it would have swung highly in our favour. But unfortunately, however much I want to react, however much I want to rage, I'm going to try and keep my cool. Yes, we've been beaten 3-1 by Manchester United. Very disappointed, and I'm sure everyone is disappointed. But I'm confused. Before I introduce the guests, I'm confused about the way I feel. And the reason I'm confused about the way I feel is because I've just watched Arsenal play Manchester United off the pitch for an hour. And no one can deny that we were the far, far better team. But what's happened is something that Mikel Arteta has really, really, really got to work on in the coming weeks, the coming months, is the way that we concede stupid goals with stupid lacks of concentration. I mean, the first goal we conceded, what is Gabriel doing diving in there? The second goal, Lukonga, you're going on walkabout. Something has got to be done in those parts of our games because ultimately I thought we were the better side. You know, you've had the commentators saying we were the better side. Even Gary Neville thought we were the better side. But I'm not going to rant and I'm not going to rave too much. I'm highly disappointed we've lost to Manchester United because I don't like losing to Manchester United, and I'm sure everyone else doesn't like losing to Manchester United. It's just one of those games. It's the fixture list I look for. Tottenham, Man United. I just hate losing to Manchester United. But the Old Trafford hoodoo rolls on. Amanda, how are you?
Not happy.
Okay, not happy. Chris, how are you?
You know that scene in Frozen where she knocks on her daughter's door? She knocks on her sister's door and she says, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And she says, "Go away." And she just feels extreme sadness and goes, "Okay, bye." That's how I feel. That level of sad. But I'm going to get some context going because still top of the league, still the better team. Arteta should be in there now saying, "Lads, you just played them off the park. You're not going to get games like that every week. And if they play like that every week, they'll be scrapping for the Europa League whilst we'll be fighting for those Champions League spots. Not just fighting for the Champions League spots, fighting for the top 3 maybe. Because, as I said to you beforehand, Arsenal feel like a team more like Man City, Liverpool than a West Ham, a Tottenham scrapping results on counter-attacks and relying on the likes of Harry Kane."
Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. Albert, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, man, but a little bit exasperated, my friend, man. Tired of it's not even nothing against the team. It's just like I called it in like the previews and that. It's a statement game, isn't it? When we play these guys away from home and to come away with another defeat. It's a tough one to take, man. It's like you said, confused. It's you watch it, good team for 70 minutes, but we go back to London with no points.
Yeah, and you know, and that is the that is the bare facts. Amanda, talk to us about it. How do you feel?
Well, let's just talk about the match a little bit. So, obviously, I did a pod with Mark Goldbridge on Friday night. He went for 1-1, I went for 2-2. Both of us weren't so sure. He felt that if his front 4 or front 3 turned up, then they would win. We were chatting away, and I haven't had a good feeling about it. The first 10 minutes, we couldn't get the ball. The rest of the game was all ours virtually until maybe in another 10 minutes in the second half. We played beautiful football, but we have to take our chances. Saliba missed, Odegaard missed. I know we're going to come to Martinelli's beautiful goal because I'm still calling it a beautiful goal. I'm so proud of them. And I don't know if it was Albert or Chris, sorry, because my brain's all over the place, but right. Whoever said that we're more like a Man City or a Liverpool, I couldn't agree more because we are so We are so much better than we've been for years that when we were passing that ball around with the players we've got, it was brilliant. But I will have to say, and I rarely criticise Arteta, but the 3 subs I just didn't understand. I thought it was suicidal. I said to Carl straight away, what is he doing? Maybe bring on 1. But you don't take off a midfield. I'm sort of, I think he must just hold his hands up and go, I made a mistake, because that was a massive mistake for me. Yeah. But I would like to get, look, you know, all weekend, everybody, all football fans have been moaning about VAR. I mean, we've seen decisions this weekend that have just been atrocious. Now, I don't think ours was as bad as West Ham, but let me tell you something, what Gary Lineker said, and I very rarely agree with him. He said VAR isn't for this. They are trying to find problems with goals. Yeah. That is not what VAR is for. VAR is for obvious mistakes. Now, that referee, fair enough, went to the screen. Obviously, clear and obvious doesn't matter anymore, because clear and obvious would be 5 seconds. I think he did that for the media. I think he stood at that screen for 5 minutes, or how long it was, to go, I did check it properly. I did check it properly. I did check it properly. Can I tell you now, for me, that has to stand, that goal. And I do not understand. And you had Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, you had Paul Merson, because I was watching Sky, both saying straight away, Keane wanted to say it wasn't a goal, but he said, I'm not sure. You saw his face, the way he changed. He don't go against United, but even him said that, you know, and I feel we're really unlucky. 1-0 up at Old Trafford may have made a difference. I don't blame the officials for us losing today. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But I will say this, that Jesus was fouled in the first 3-4 minutes, and that should have been a yellow card. Yeah. I said it straight away. Cole said they're not going to book him because it's too soon. I went, but we will be the first to be booked. We will be the first to be booked. And it's getting to the point. Yeah, it's getting to the point now. And I've said it for years, actually. Well, how long VAR's been out? It is ruining football. It is not there for this. VAR is not the problem. It's the officials behind it. Now, if you don't think that's a goal, and I'm not even being biased, because there could be some United fans in the chat today because of the pod on Friday, I'm not being biased. If I didn't think it was a goal, I'd have said straight away, fair enough. But there's so much to talk about, and I don't want to take it all up. So I'm very proud of the boys. I think we played phenomenal football. It's beautiful to see. And on we go to Zurich. Mm-hmm. I've got a lot more to say, but I think it's only fair everyone else speaks.
I think you make a very good point, Amanda. I think it's very naive of us. It would be very naive of us to blame the ref and VAR for losing today. I don't blame the ref and VAR for losing. That would be very, very naive of any Arsenal fan. We lost because lapses of concentration. You know, we let Man United get in our heads at 2-1. And after 2-1, I knew it was done at 2-1. We were so good at 1-0.
Yeah.
Martin Odegaard, you know, if he puts that one away that goes across the box, the game swings hugely, even more into our favour.
But it's not that, Craig. Sorry, it is lapses of concentration, and it's not taking our chances. And
exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying with the Odegaard thing. You know, Chris, it's important that we don't get into this thing of it was VAR that cost us. It was VAR that cost us, because I think that'd be a very naive thing to do as an Arsenal fan. Manchester United have caught us on the break twice, scored and scored 2 goals from it, and ultimately that was won in the game. Mikel Arteta's substitutions. I know a lot of people who watch and listen to this podcast would think that we're pro Arteta. It's not that I'm pro Arteta. It's just that I think up until now he's done everything right. But those 2 substitutions, Chris, 3 substitutions, they were madness. Madness substitutions.
Do you know what? Those subs, from my perspective, would have been absolutely fine if the score was 2-1 with 4 minutes to go. If the score is 2-1 with 4 minutes to go, you say, do you know what? Screw this, because at this stage in the season, what difference does 3-1 make to us compared to 2-1 if we go for it? With 4 minutes to go, if you throw the kitchen sink at Man United, and that average-looking Man United team because they sat back and rope-a-doped us. Fair play to them. They sat back and rope-a-dope. They do that all season. Do you know what? If they play that all season, happy days. They ain't finishing in the top 4. So you crack on, United, and the 1 or 2 random United fans in the comments, like just
I
here
said there'd be a few here.
abuse. It's actually funny. It's like, guys, instead of celebrating and going onto your own fan podcasts and listening and getting the joy of it, you're coming onto an Arsenal one to go, "Whee!" It's like, lads, we're still top of the league. Lads and ladies, we're still top of the league. If you're celebrating and coming onto this podcast, if you're coming into our patch, to an Arsenal patch, to come and have a little bit of a poke, I have a little think. We're still top of the league. You know, we play Everton next week. We beat Everton. We're still top of the league after 7 games. I mean, but yeah. Do you know what? I'm so raging. I've forgotten the question. Apologies, Craig.
You're okay. That's okay. That's absolutely
Shocker.
fine. I knew it was coming, but it was just in what part of the podcast it was coming. Look, ultimately, mate, I said we'd be very naive as Arsenal fans to blame VAR and to blame the officials for losing. Do you know, Chris? No, you put
yeah.
That was the original question.
Sorry, that was my cue. I thought you said Albert. Yeah, it was my cue. It is naivety, but what I'm trying to do is balance my own rage with and the disappointment with Arteta's naivety by saying, you know what, hopefully we're going to learn from this. Hopefully, he's going to understand that sometimes you need to give it some time. There's a time to throw it at the kitchen sink. I guess that's the 4 minutes to go point that I made. There's a time to throw things at the kitchen sink. You know what? Let's just chuck like Wenger used to do. Let's chuck all the forwards on with 4 or 5 minutes to go, and it's in the balance, rather than what he did, which I think was about 75-ish minutes, because we just lost our shape. It went wrong. They caught us out very quickly. And as a result, we had the last 15 minutes where, honestly, I just sat there being like, this game's over now.
Albert, obviously there's going to be a lot of... I mean, I haven't even been on Twitter yet. I don't think I'm even going to go on Twitter.
You need to be honest. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Like, there's going to be a lot of over-the-top reaction tonight. There's going to be a lot of over-the-top reaction. Oh, look, Arsenal came up against the first good team and they lost. I told you so. I told you so. There's going to be a lot of this tonight on podcasts, on YouTube channels. Mikel Arteta is going to get hounded. Okay, look, we've just lost 3-1 to Manchester United, but is there an element of overreaction to this defeat, Albert? In your opinion?
Craig, I think there's an overreaction with every Arsenal game, whoever we play, to be honest. So this is it's your question is perfect, but the over ramping and the over analysis is going to be because of who we play today. And it was kind of in the pipeline with the run up to the game and all the previews people were doing, and you could feel it was kind of coming in it. And the vultures are waiting, you know what the other see, we knew it, see. But the difference was, I think, with this, I think what's frustrated a lot of Arsenal fans, definitely for us for doing this podcast now and many others, is if we'd have played rubbish and lost that game as well, the reaction would be even worse. But it's the fact that we played well. Man has alluded to it. We did get good chances, man. Really good chances. The Saliba one. I think what frustrated me, the Ødegaard in the second half, and I think what frustrated me sort of throughout the course of the match, if I'm being honest with you, if you'd have put a camera in my place and see me, man, it started to get really frustrated. But it was because when we got into the final third, just some of the most basic elementary passing, like Saka and Ødegaard, and I thought, come on, man, like this will go into OT. This is a ground that notoriously we don't get wins there in the league. Like I said, we said before, United started the first 10 minutes, but after we got the disallowed goal, we did boss the game. In wide areas, we really, really, really pinned them back. Jesus was fantastic, man. Yeah, he was brilliant. Shout out to that boy. He was brilliant. He gave Martinez and Varane an absolute torrid time. Torrid. But But yeah, Craig, the biggest frustration for me was, I know we can talk about the lapses in concentration, but from the top end of the pitch wise, just we a bit of better care, man, and we could have got ahead and the ascendancy and dictated that game to United, and we didn't do that. So yeah, I'll stop talking now. But yeah, for me, that was a very frustrating element of that game today for me.
Amanda, what do you think Mikel Arteta is saying to his players right now in the dressing room? What would the atmosphere be like in there, do you think?
Oh, I think they'll be really disappointed, and I think he'll be geeing them up. You can't criticise their attitude towards this game. I mean, when you was watching them in that lovely black kit, I sat there and I thought some of this football is stunning, and I was appreciating it. I was really appreciating it. Did I expect us to win? I didn't. I really didn't. So we knew there'd be a bump in the road. We had a feeling it might be here. You know, Ten Hag has resurrected them. You know what United are like. We're just a bit of a bogey team going there. I think if this had been at the Emirates, it would have been a different scoreline, if I'm honest.
Is Paul Tierney refereeing at the Emirates? That's my question, because I don't know.
I don't know. He probably doesn't come out of Manchester, does he? But to be fair, I'm not. I don't think we should sit here and blame the referees for us missing goals. I mean, Odegaard's for leaving. You know what I mean? You know, we've had chances. Saka had a chance. We've had chances. I do think that maybe there may be a little shout for a penalty on Eddie. The problem now is because of what VAR has done. We're looking at every single thing. We're not even watching games anymore. We're watching for fouls and we're watching every minute. This is all we're talking about. We need to talk about our beautiful football. And I think Jesus, what he brings to us, Jesus Christ, what a player we have got there. I can't stop raving about him. And I think that it would be lovely just to praise. And I think Martinez. I think Arteta in changing room will be pointing this out, that maybe he holds his hands up and says, I was wrong with the subs. I was wrong with what I did. I don't know how he would word that. But we go again because we are still top of the league, which is weird. We've still got, a point ahead on City. Tottenham go to City next week. They never, ever do well there. Well, I can't say ever. I'm not blanking that. Generally, they don't do well there. My City mates are nervous about Tottenham coming. It's all to play for. Listen, it's September. It's fun. Yeah. You wouldn't have taken 15 points in 6 games.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. Going away from the game, if someone said to me, in the beginning of September, you'd be top of the league with 15 points, I'd rip your hand off for it. Albert, you wanted to come back in there?
Yeah, coming quick. I see some of the comments in the chat in terms of, unless you're talking about Arsenal fans generally speaking, in terms of blaming the ref and let's be serious, right? Because quickly, Craig, the refereeing standards in this country. Go and speak to Newcastle fans. Go and speak to any other football club, any other fans of football clubs. They'll tell you the same thing in terms of officiating. So when you see a goal disallowed the way it was for Arsenal in the first half, I don't care what football team you support. You're not going to be happy with that. Just because there's physical contact doesn't mean it's a foul. That's not, if that's blaming the ref or the officials, so be it. But I think that's plausible. And I think as an Arsenal fan, you've got a right to feel a little bit aggrieved when you see a goal chalked off for that reason. And generally, like I said, if we look at the officiating this weekend, I don't even get me started on some of the decisions I saw, because I'm embarrassed, if I'm being honest. And I believe some of the officials are actually going to the World Cup, which I don't know how that's happened, but yeah, that's enough said about that. That's me, Craig.
Can I just say something? Sorry, because I've really gone to town on Arteta and the subs, but we don't know how fit Zinni and Odegaard were. So you've got to look at that, where we're not looking at that, because 100%. Remember, we didn't even know they were playing. We only knew as soon as that team came out. That's when we knew, they're fit. But how fit were they?
Yeah, I was surprised Zinchenko started, to be honest.
So was I. But I mean, he gives us more than Tierney in midfield, but Tierney gives us more defending. And there was a part of me going, with the first goal. But I think we just need to look at the positives. I mean, let's just talk about how beautiful Martinelli's goal was. It's such a shame it's not stood. It would have been a different game. We know that. But they, in a way, did to us what we've been doing to teams. They go 1-0 down, or, you know, they go a goal, we score, they go and score straight away. It's what we've been doing. And we don't know. And, you know, I'm not keen on what Arteta did with those 3 subs with 20 minutes to go. And to be fair, me and Gary Neville normally disagree, but we didn't on this, because I straight away went, I'm not sure about this. This is dramatic. But he was right. We were either going to win that 5-2 or lose that, whatever it was, 3-4-1, 5-1. Is there any shame to losing at Old Trafford? No. Liverpool did. Whatever way you look at it, they've just brought in that Anthony. And I'd like to talk about that goal, actually. Does anyone think that Ramsdale was at fault or not?
No.
Okay.
No.
I think he went down a bit too early.
I'd say, as a goalkeeper, perhaps he should have known what way he was going to go, but it's just, it's like a penalty. I mean, when you're in front of the goal there, you know, it's just like a penalty. You're going to have to commit to one side where you think he's going to go. You know, I mean, other people might disagree with me. I mean, if he'd have been beaten on his near post, we'd all be raving. We'd all be going, what? You know, a lot of people would be, you know, giving him grief, this, that, and the other. So I think as a goalkeeper, that near post is where you think, I mean, as that ball comes across, and I have to say it was a fantastic finish. I'm not going to take nothing away from the lad. It was a fantastic finish. The way he opened up his body and the way, I mean, it was, as I just said, it was a fantastic finish. I don't think Ramsdale's got anything to, I don't think Ramsdale done anything wrong today. I don't see how we could possibly say that Ramsdale wasn't good enough there, in my opinion.
And then he did make a beautiful save later on and a block, and it was great. But I just think he left it a bit wide open and went down too soon. But sort of opinions.
There was a good point coming here now. Bloody here it is, Chris. This is a great point now. Ryan says, "Thank you, Ryan, for your comment. We always lose the same way to Manchester United. They always do us on the counter, and it's so true, so true. So you would have thought that Mikel Arteta, you know, would have put something in his game today that was going to stop Manchester United countering us. Now, we played so far up. I mean, we were so, you could just see it was going to happen. We were so far up the pitch. I mean, our defence were in there half at some, you know, at some stages. I understand that 1-1, you know, you want to go for the win, but there's got to be, as a football manager, there's got to be that little thing in the back of your head that's going to say, I have to stop this counter attack, because they are going to get us on the counter attack, and ultimately that's what cost us the game.
It is, but I don't know whether or not maybe it's the few beverages that I've had to try and numb the pain of the inevitable defeat to Manchester United, but I don't seem to recall United countering us very much at all up until that point. We basically just controlled possession. The ball was in their half. We were the better team. We pressed them well. We controlled everything. And the first time it felt like they hit us on the counter was on the goal. So there's a lesson learned there, I think. I definitely think there's a lesson to be learned there. I think, as you said earlier, there are too many of our, so far this season, excellent defenders who kind of just made individual mistakes. So, you know, there was a couple of mistakes. We talked about Sambi for the first goal. There was a mistake from Gabriel for the second goal. I think for the third goal, Ben White just kind of stops. He just kind of doesn't really look at Eriksen making the run. He can see him because he's running across him. He's in front of him. But he doesn't actually track Eriksen properly. And we seem to be a bit flat-footed on that one. So I just feel like there were a few individual errors for the concessions of our goals. And I guess that's where we need to come back to. Ultimately, the reason that we've lost this game is not because, as I saw in the morning and yesterday, lots and lots of Paul Tierney, who's from Greater Manchester, and Lee Mason's from Greater Manchester, blah, blah, blah. You know, decisions went against us. As a football fan, you need to appreciate it should be 60-40 decisions tend to go the way of 60% home team, 40% away team. When it gets to 80, 90% home away, that's when you start to get issues. I get the feeling that it was between 60 to 70% of decisions went Man United's way today. That's what happens when you're the home team. If we're at the Emirates, I would hope that first goal for Martinelli probably stands and the referee sees the fans around and the pressure and just goes, do you know what? It's fine. This is a physical league, carry on. But because it's Old Trafford, we don't get the decision. I just feel like, again, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm going on one of my tangential rants. So probably someone else should jump in here, but it's the emotion of the day. Albert, save me. Albert, save me.
Jump in.
Let's bring Albert in. Let's bring Albert in. And ultimately, Albert, you don't take your chances. You don't win football matches. 100%. And today, Albert, for me, we had 4-5 brilliant chances to put the ball in the back of the net, and we just didn't take them. Ultimately, mate, that's your bread and butter. Put the ball in the goal, you win games. We didn't today, and we've got beaten.
Yeah, it's a shame because if you look at all our games we've played this season so far, one thing I have been happy about is we started games well, and we've actually got the goal in front or a couple of goals in front. But Craig, you're right. It's again, I come back to what I say. In these statement games, you might not get many opportunities, but we had quite a few opportunities, and you have to take them. One thing we did do well, and we have done well in the games we played already this season, is when we've conceded, we've got a goal literally kind of straight afterwards or within a 5-minute period, which has been very, very good. That's a positive aspect of Arsenal. But I mean, Craig, I'll be honest, coming into this fixture, I had us down for a 2-2, and that was purely based on our record at OT. It's not great.
I woke up this morning, right? And normally I wake up on a match day, I either get a good feeling or a bad feeling. But the feeling I got this morning was just dread. I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. Anyone who's friends with me on Facebook knows I knew what was coming, and how right was I to say that I knew.
And Craig as well. I think this is important. I mean, I'm obviously only speaking for myself, but as much as United may not be the force they once were under Fergie and Fergie time, the rest of it, they have had a little bit of confidence run up to this fixture with 3 clean sheets and back-to-back wins. That can't be underestimated. Yes, you can pinpoint they weren't particularly very good against Leicester, and Liverpool not at the races yet, and a sneaky win against Southampton, but they won, Craig.
Well, this is what we were talking about before we came on air. Chris was saying that Manchester United have sneaked to win here and they've sneaked to win there, and they've done this and they've done that and they've done this. That's what I want Arsenal to start doing. I want Arsenal to start sneaking wins, and today I really believe that today was one of when you look at the missed chances, we should have sneaked to win here today. Yeah. And without playing, we were great. But I want Arsenal to start winning games without being great, because I'm kind of getting tired of sitting here going, oh, weren't we so great? But didn't we play well? But ultimately, I'm not going to begrudge Manchester United their result today. I'm not going to begrudge them about it. They've beat us fair and well.
Craig, Craig, is that more of a feeling generally about Arsenal, or the fact that when we play against the big teams away from home? Because that's what it's for me.
Oh, it's for me exactly that. The big teams away from home. Like, I'm always worried about going to Manchester City. I'm always worried about going to Old Trafford. I'm always worried about going to Tottenham. The Leicester team. I mean, but then 3 or 4 weeks ago, the way we were playing, I actually exclaimed on this podcast that I wasn't worried about going to Old Trafford, and I wasn't worried about going. Yeah. And then you see the way we play today. Perhaps I shouldn't be too worried about going to Spurs or Manchester City or Liverpool, because it's a different game and football's football. But I'm getting a little bit tired. And I know Amanda wants to come in on this one. I am getting a little bit tired of this. Oh, but we played so well. Oh, wasn't it a shame? Ultimately, You don't put the ball in the back of the net. You don't win football matches. If you could win football matches by stringing the most amount of passes together, we'd win the league every year.
Yeah, that's not true, Craig, because we haven't been playing this football only the last 6 matches, and we've won 5 of them.
No, I'm talking about past seasons. I'm talking about past seasons as well. There's been times in past seasons where we've needed to go to places and get results, and we've played great football but haven't won.
Well, that's fair enough, because my old saying was great football, no end product. And so I use that today, unfortunately. But I'm not so negative on what you're saying about I'd rather see us win 1-0. It's going to come. It really is. Jesus is going to bag a hat-trick. It's going to happen, Craig, because we're playing so well. We haven't played as well as this in years. We really haven't. I don't want that to change. We just need to add the goals, really. We have won 5 in 5. We have won them against teams that, not Liverpool, City, United, but we've beaten teams that are above Liverpool at the moment. And I would just say that if you want us to go back to the old days of George Graham, where boring 1-0, then they're fine. And yes, I get that, but I'm really enjoying the football, and I'm finding it hard to sort of say, no, I want a boring 1-0. I'm finding it hard because we have won 5 games. It's not as though we played brilliant for 6 games and got 10 points or 8 points. I can't complain. I don't feel that I want to complain. I want to move on to the next game because I'm not surprised. You know, the reason you said that a few weeks ago about not worrying about going to Old Trafford is because they were diabolical. And we had the massive chance if you'd have played them then. They're not diabolical now. They're really not. He's a very good manager, as you can see. And now they've just bought Anthony. So I'm upset we lost because I don't feel like we deserve to. But if you don't put that ball in the back of the net, as my dad says, if you don't take your chances, you don't win games.
Absolutely. Mikel Arteta has commented on the disallowed goal. Lack of consistency. One is soft, and one last week they made a foul on Aaron, but it is soft. It is soft. It is not a foul. There is a foul on Saka. It is soft, but not a penalty. Today, it is a foul. The threshold in the first actions, you could see there is no yellow card because they want to keep a threshold in a big game. Really difficult to understand. Chris, come in on that one.
Yeah, I think this is what we were talking towards the top of the show. So Lisandro Martinez makes a foul in the first minute. And if you're going to, as we hear from the PGMOL, let it flow, then you say, nope, not a yellow card. Perfectly fine. But then, as Amanda was saying earlier, 17 minutes later, William Saliba gets a yellow card for his first foul. Lack of consistency. You've then got Martin Odegaard that essentially comes into a duel with Eriksen. Eriksen goes down. The goal is scored. Paul Tierney goes off and spends at least a minute and a half deliberating over it. If we're deliberating, probably 2 minutes. If we're deliberating for 2 minutes over that, how much contact has he got? Has he got enough contact? I'm not sure. I'm sorry, you can't give it. That's it. So I think I make Mikel Arteta right on that one. There's not consistency here. Last week, like on Wednesday night, Tyrone Mings can literally grab Bukayo Saka around the arm, lift him up and push him down. Personally, I thought that was borderline. I would even say, do you know what? I'm happy to let that go because he's pulled him up, he's pushed him down. If you're going to make it physical, fine. Then do it consistently. There is not the consistency. This is a boring, repetitive commentary that is not just happening on Arsenal podcasts. This is happening on every podcast up and down the land. We do not get the same kind of commentary on World Cup. So when we go into the World Cup in Qatar, how many times do any of us think we'll be talking about shocking VAR decisions? And there was a comment earlier on, I can't remember who it was in the chat, which I thought was brilliant. Why can't we the Premier League is the richest league in the world. Why can't we just get the best referees from around the world and pay them? Like, that's what the PGMOL should be doing. It's like, right, do you know what? This is the best league in the world. This is the richest league in the world. We're going to get the best referees. You know, that guy from over in Italy, the Pierluigi Collina equivalent on the modern day version, he's brilliant. I tell you what, mate, double your wages. Come over here to the Premier League. We'll sort you out. Why don't we do that?
Albert.
Yeah, I was going to, Chris, you just raised, I was going to say something. With that, I just think, you guys remember the refs I'm going to bring up in terms of names. Hopefully people in chat remember. We've missed the boat in this country with that. So the likes of Kim Milton-Nielsen and Andreas Frisk and Pierluigi Collina, these guys, we should have been climbing the walls to bring these guys over to the country years ago. So when they first started seeing that the standards in this country in terms of officiating was through the mud. You know, it wasn't long ago we had a major tournament where there was no English officials. There was a reason for that, and it's got worse. So I don't know what the strength of like the foreign refs in other countries, people you might know, Craig, or other people might know. I don't know who the best refs are in terms of outside the Premier League in other European countries. But if I'm going back to that era, like I said, us in this country, we missed the boat with getting these guys over here to improve the standards, and we missed out.
Amanda?
You can't have consistency when things are subjective. I saw Arsenal fans on my timeline saying that was a foul from Odegaard. We've got all of us sitting here saying it isn't. Unless you have the same ref for every single game, you're not going to get consistency. It's impossible. It's all about opinions. If it's an opinion-based argument, you're going to have different decisions. Now, another ref that today might have thought, it's not a foul for me, and gave the goal. So how is it ever going to work? So this word consistency, it means nothing. I'm sorry. It doesn't, because if you look at a penalty shout, yeah, I disagree with you, Chris. I think Tyrone Mings, it was a penalty. You're not so sure. There we go. So it doesn't mean it's not consistent. It's just about opinions. Over the line, you can't have an opinion on. Anything that's fact is not subjective. So here we go. We're never going to get what we want, because each referee... See, it's really hard because it's been terrible what's happened this weekend, and it's just going to get worse. Every game there's going to be something you're all going to disagree with. I may agree with. So how's it ever going to work? So you have to take VAR out, I'm afraid, for penalty shouts. Anything that's subjective, it's not for VAR. You're never going to get it. So I've got an Arsenal fan arguing with me that, oh, come on, Amanda, you're just biased because it's Arteta and you thought it was a penalty. Not a penalty, sorry, the goal should have stood. There's nothing to do with Arteta. I think the goal should have stood. But if it didn't, Chris, if I felt that was a foul from Odegaard, I would have bloody said it. I would have said it against everybody else. Many times people don't agree with me.
Can I just jump in on this? I'm just looking. Apparently, so this is only just coming out. We're hearing this live as it comes. Is on the disallowed goal. Arteta has said this. The referee said it was a really soft decision. We just asked for consistency. Today we disallowed the goal again. There's nothing we can do now. Wait, so hold on. I need to. We're reacting to this.
If it's soft, it's still a foul. It doesn't matter whether it's not or not. If it's a soft penalty, they're given, Chris. So
no, I'm talking about the one tonight.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, soft doesn't mean it's not a foul. It just means it wasn't 100% sure. I'm not agreeing.
I think sorry to cut across you, Amanda. In footballing terms, soft is not a foul.
Well,
it's not a foul. Soft is not a foul.
What he's trying to do,
not in the Premier League.
He's trying to appease. He's trying to appease because it's the game after everyone's gone mad at the PGMOL, have gone mad at the VAR officiators. His opinion is it's a soft foul, but it's a foul.
What is a soft foul? Someone tell me what a soft foul is.
Yeah, I like that.
It was probably more 60-40. So that's what he thinks.
No. What is a soft foul? What is a foul? Is a foul. It's not a hard foul or a soft foul or a medium foul. What's a soft foul?
As I said, 60-40 in his head. That's why it took so long, because he wasn't sure. And soft we feel hard done by. But again, if you look at a comment from Silvio, it was, it's gone now. Sorry, it was a foul. Get over it. This is what I'm saying. People have got different opinions. So referees have got different opinions. You're never going to get consistency unless one refs every single game.
Chris?
And that obviously is
Sorry.
impossible.
Albert, sorry.
And the rules, and the laws of the game are made clear, because clear and obvious apparently is out the game now. I didn't realise this. And for me,
I thought football was a contact sport.
Yeah, but
Just
for
because
me,
there's
can I
contact- Just because there's contact doesn't mean it was a foul. And that was not
absolutely.
a foul.
But that again goes against us. But can I just say, I thought their goal was offside. But then Carl explains to me that phase 1, you're not offside if it's phase 2. I'm like sitting there going, to me, he was offside. So I think football's being ruined by all of it.
Craig, the thing is with the VAR, it's been. I mean, I don't watch other like the Bundesliga or Serie A like week in week out, but the implementation of VAR, it seems to be a massive issue in this league. Now, I remember the men's Euros. That was probably one of the best referee tournaments I've seen. If I'm being honest, in most of the games, the refs, I don't know what under directive they were, but in terms of letting the game be a little bit more free flowing, and, people not, the slightest contact is not given as a foul. That's the best referee tournament I've seen. So they've said that they've tried to do this season in the Premier League or however long they've been doing it. But again, for me, like I said before, the Martin, the Arsenal disallowed goal was a prime example of, like you mentioned, Craig, in terms of just because there's contact doesn't mean it's a foul. And I'm using that as an example because it's the one that stuck in my head straight away because it happened to be us. But yeah, I just think I don't know why it is in this country that the implementation of VAR just seems to it's been so poor, and it's not like this in other leagues.
I'm sorry now. I need to get away from VAR because I think it's podcasts. When we even after football matches tomorrow, it'll be about VAR. Tomorrow, the next day, it'll be about VAR.
Tomorrow definitely will be.
Tomorrow
That's why
definitely.
It's ruined it. That's why it's ruined it.
It's going to be talking about VAR this, VAR that. I'll say the last thing on VAR for me was that is supposed to make the game less controversial, but it's made the game more controversial. And I can't see how having VAR in any league, in any world, helps. Well, no, actually, I'll backtrack on that. The only country it doesn't work in is England. It's the only country it doesn't get used properly.
Because the officials behind it are absolutely atrocious. They change laws and then don't stick by them. I just don't get it. I really don't. And for the people that are saying, I'm digging a hole, I'm just trying to explain what a subjective view means. Everyone's opinion is different. To me, it should have stood. To some Arsenal fans, it was a foul.
And also, just to say, Amanda, we've said it. Like you said, I think Craig and you said it at the top of the show. Like people need to understand in the chat, we're not saying we lost the game because of one decision, or people don't sometimes they don't distinguish, Amanda. That's the problem. But we're not saying that. Like any reasonable Arsenal fan will know we didn't lose that game because of the officiating.
Yeah.
But we were allowed to talk about it. And the fact is we lost the game at Albert because we didn't take our chances. And we acted like twats in midfield and defence for their goals.
Let's get back to Chris. I'll come back to you. I want to get back onto it. Playing Sammy Lokonga as a lone DM at Old Trafford was probably not one of Arteta's best decisions, would you say?
I would disagree, actually. I thought he did well. I thought he acquitted himself quite well. I thought he popped the ball around quite well. I thought he moved the ball quite well. I thought we had Zinchenko moving into the centre of midfield at times. And let's have it right. We dominated Man United for massive chunks of this game. Yeah, we dominated United for massive. We went onto their turf and dominated them for massive chunks of the game. I've decided, having just listened to the guys talking about the VAR side, I am now going to flip to positive mode. Top of the league after 6 games, and we've just been defeated to United, to a United team that I'm not scared of, having watched that. They can play like that all season for all I care. Happy days. And if we play like we've played all season so far, happy days, because we will finish in the top 4. Tick, done. We go to Zurich next on Thursday. Let's rotate the team. Let's see a rotated Arsenal team take on Zurich and do them over. And let's go to Everton. Let's take it back to the Emirates. We'll have a little go at Everton Let's see if we can pick up 3 points. I'll tell you what, if we play like we played today against Everton, 3 points in the bag. Oh, guess what? We'll still be top of the league. 7 games in. People always talk about, oh, you can't really look at the league until you're 10 games through the season. Well, I'll tell you what, if we beat, fingers crossed, we can beat Zurich. Fingers crossed, we can beat Everton. That's 7 games in. What's our next game after that? Brentford away. Do you know what? Let's extinguish some demons. Let's go to Brentford and rough them up. Let's do them over. Let's play exactly the same. Let's have intensity. Let's have pressing. Let's see Martinelli have a run at their fullback. Let's see Gabriel Jesus with those quick feet properly going for it. Like, the man deserved a goal today because he was brilliant. Bukayo Saka on the score sheet today. Bukayo Saka has broken his duck. Man is going to bang for the rest of this season because he's a brilliant footballer. Martin Ødegaard pulling the strings. We've got Fabio Vieira, who's come on, little cameo today. Maybe he can get some time in Zurich, get some confidence up. We're playing good football. So by the time we play Tottenham, and I think Tottenham is, so we got Everton, which is game number 7. Brentford is game number 8. Tottenham is game number 9. Let's play Tottenham at home. And let's play Tottenham at home like we've been playing this season, and we will do them. I don't care about Harry Kane. I don't care about Son. What I want is I want to see the same performance as we saw last season. We get that. Oh, look, we're into 9 games in. We're getting close to that 10-game mark. We will still be top of the league. This is a rally cry, guys. I'm into rally cry mode. Arsenal are playing good football. We've had a bit of a blip today, but underlying, the performance was good. Iron out some of those mistakes with a young team, we'll be on it.
It's hard to disagree, Albert, isn't it? It is hard to disagree with that because, like I said at the top of the show, I'm confused. I was confused about how I felt, but I did watch Arsenal play Manchester United off the park for an hour. But playing Manchester United off the park for an hour, it's not good enough. You've got to play them off the pitch for 90 minutes and score more goals than them. But there is lots and lots of things in what Chris has just said is absolutely correct. There is a lot of positives. We go to Zurich in the Europa League. I would expect, Albert, a much changed side against Zurich. Would you?
Yeah, I would as well. And then us as Arsenal fans get to see Marquinhos. We get to see Fabio Vieira because, Craig, in the day, we've bought players that, one, we didn't know a lot about, and 2, we haven't seen them play yet. So that has to be a positive because they're new signings. Chris makes a good point because, the thing is, Craig, the game's done now. We obviously we're going to talk about it and we're going to, go through why we didn't get the win. But if you sort of analyze it in terms of our performance alone, we were good today. We've been good in all the games, to be fair. I can't turn around and say a game and say, you know what, guys, I thought we were lucky to win today. That's not been the case. Again, it comes down to fine margins and it comes doon to putting the ball in the back of the net. And unfortunately, we got one today, but we didn't do it effectively at the key moments, at the right moments. Big thing for Saka to score today. I thought second half especially was on it. I thought he gave their fullback Malacia quite a torrid time, to be honest with you. The good link-up play with Ødegaard as well. And as Chris mentioned, Jesus has been brilliant since he's come to the club. Fact. Everton will be an interesting game because it's a weird one because you look at fixtures and you pre-plan and you look at the other team and you go, oh, Everton, going to be a tough season for them. They'll be absolutely buoyed by their result yesterday. They probably can't wait to play us. Irrespective of whatever the record is, what the record is like at the Emirates. It's not great, but so again, won't be an easy game. But as Chris said, if we can play the football we've been playing and be more ruthless on top of what we've been partly this season already, we're going to be in good shape. And like I said, we're going to see some of the new guys come in on Thursday. Eddie's going to be chomping at the bit, because he's not the main man. When he gets his game time, he has to deliver. So, listen, onwards and upwards, man. The games come thick and fast, and we've got a lot more games this season than we did last season. So I think someone's mentioned it in the chat. We take each game as it comes and we move on. It is as simple as that, Greg.
Amanda, it is a lot to do with how we react, isn't it?
I was just about to say that. I just hope
after the defeat, how we react against Zurich, how we react against Everton will really tell us. Those kind of things can tell us, how far the team have come and how Mikel Arteta has put his stamp on trying to get them to play football. But as I say, the next 2 games will tell how we bounce back. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think how we come back, how we bounce back is really important, and we will see what they're made of. But I would like to say as well that I think their attitude will be that they feel hard done by. You know, Ødegaard, the goal, Ødegaard foul, Martinelli goal. I think they'll be absolutely going for it Thursday as well, back in Europe, which would be amazing. And just to let everyone know, it starts at 5:45. Like, how's everyone supposed to get home from work and watch this absolute joke? They couldn't care less about the fans. I'm going to miss the first 15, 20 minutes. It's
That's
ridiculous.
the only thing I'm mad about Europa League, man. The times, man.
But they do it
I'll
8:15.
so I'll be all right.
Yeah. So I'll still be working at 5:30. Anyway, so sorry, my train of thought. So I think they'll come out all guns blazing, excuse the pun, and I think they will be very much looking forward to. Thank God we're at the Emirates next Sunday, and we're playing Everton, which I feel is good for us. I'm glad it's not another,
Humdinger.
like Tottenham or City. Listen, I think that I'm very proud of the boys. I'm proud of where we are. I just want us to keep doing what we're doing. It's going to come. It is going to come definitely with a high-scoring game soon. I do believe that.
Well said, man.
We outplayed them. Remember that. And I think that's going to. We're wound up. Okay, can you imagine how they're going to feel? They're going to want to. They want to prove that point right, and we're going to have to fight against VAR. It's going to happen every game, but yeah, I do feel we all knew there'd be a bump in the road. We weren't going to win every game, and we're not going to win the league. But we're doing brilliant, and I think that we need to really big up. And we're not one of those podcasts where we're going to be so controversial. We're saying it as it is. This is how we all feel. We all know how well we played. We just need to take our chances.
Absolutely. I mean, there is Melvin comes in with a great Mervyn. So Melvin.
Go on, Melvin.
Uncle Melv.
Melv the other day, man. Go on,
Melv. So much better at Old Trafford than Liverpool. So let's take this on the chin and move on.
Yeah.
I think it's best we do that. It's done. The game is finished. Exactly. We're still top of the league. There is a lot of positives that have come out today, but obviously the biggest negative is that we didn't get a result at Old Trafford again. This hoodoo that stands over us at Old Trafford is still alive and well. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, as always, about our great club. Unfortunately, it was a loss today, but we were going to lose sometime. It was just unfortunate. It had to be at Old Trafford. Yeah. Amanda, thank you very much for your presence this evening.
Thank you. I'm back on Friday. The Always Arsenal show is back Friday night, 8:00, and I have Toffee TV coming on. Bazza, who was on last time, is fantastic. And if I can convince my mate Alan Myers from Sky to come make an appearance, he'll be on too. I know. We're going to be looking at Everton Arsenal. We'll probably be going back a little bit over Zurich the night before as well. So please all come and join us. As many gooners in the chat room, there'll be some Evertonians and as well.
No, which is what it's all about. It's all good. Chris, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Shout out to Barry, to Sony. Dust ourselves down, learn and move on. Great ending, Barry.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do after this podcast. I'm just going to... It is what it is. It's done and dusted. I don't have to watch Match of the Day. I'm not going to put myself through that again. I watched the game live. It's done. It's dusted. I can't do nothing about it. We bloody lost to Manchester United.
I think you're going to wind yourself up if anyone watches Match of the Day. The pundits are going to say it should have been given the goal. I think they're all going to say it was soft.
Yeah. Oh, soft. Here we go. Soft. Albert, my man, it's been great to have you back on and to hear your football and opinions once again. Where can people find you on the YouTube and the Twitter and all that kind of stuff?
Now, firstly, listen, great show, man. Seriously, it's talking points always, particularly after loss, but great show, guys. Fantastic. Yes, Albert JTV people, got my own channel. I'm doing a match review on my own channel at 9:00 actually tonight. So get out of the way, blow out some cobwebs, and yeah, we move on to Zurich and Everton. But yes, Albert JTV, come and subscribe, people.
Absolutely. Everyone go and support Albert, please, at Albert JTV, 9 o'clock tonight, live. If you feel like you want to go through it all again.
Yeah, if you feel like
you
it,
haven't had
people.
enough already. Albert's your man, 9 o'clock. Thank you to everyone that supported us this afternoon. Over 100 of you watching live. Absolutely massive. Thanks very much indeed. The downloads on the podcast in the audio is going massively. So thank you to everyone that's listening to us on audio also. A big, massive thanks to you all to keep supporting us. As long as you support us, we'll keep coming back. And we'll see you again very soon. So until the next time we see you, be nice, be kind to each other, and up the Arsenal.